All right. Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are on the globe. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live. Happy Saturday. Hang in there. Those that are passing through, what it do? Hope you find something suitable for you. Others of you that's coming in and staying in, hopefully you are coming in love and light and high vibes and good energy. What you come in here with, that shall be what you get. To the high vibers, my returning, thank y'all. Appreciate every last one of y'all. To newbies who are not familiar with me, I invite you when you get a chance, if you're trying to figure out who is this, check out the homepage and then check out the YouTube. Click on the YouTube icon. It's here in the bio section. It'll take you to my YouTube channel. Over there, you're going to get more in-depth information about me, as well as content that I've created over time. Okay, I think there's well over 1,000+ videos over there, a mixed bag of things that I've created, as well as other content creators that I share, okay, over there that I feel like is suitable on some level. Okay, so anyway, getting the coffee. I invite y'all to do the same. Java, tea, smoothie, whatever you do, right? We're going to have short share discussions. I've been doing this a lot lately. People having discussions and then me adding my own brand of experience and opinions to it, and then bringing it to y'all. For those of you who are comfortable and open and want to share your experience and your thoughts, okay? Please be respectful. And when I say respectful, I'm simply meaning keep in mind of what you expect for individuals to operate in if they were to come to your house, okay? I'm starting to use that as examples. Bear with me. Just to get humans, grown humans, back into the understanding of every last one of us expect, whether we're verbalizing it or not, we expect people to come to our house with a level of respect and regard to the house host or the house, right, owner. And so I apply that to the world of social media as well. Every last one of us have our own perspective corners. And what do I mean by that? We have platforms we create, okay? And those particular platforms are our cyber homes. We can be welcoming to people, like, come on over, right? But if they ain't acting right, you heard? All right. Ooh, this is some good Java, y'all. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna share a few shares, and as I normally do, I'll pause, see if anybody's saying anything, and I'll pause and just share my thoughts on it. All right. So this particular one says, bruh, you will never find another her. Okay? Thank y'all for the love. Whoever sent love out there, I appreciate that. Bruh, you'll never find another her. Here we go.
Quick story, man. I just saw on my DM this guy, this celebrity guy, and this celebrities hit me up all the time, man, just to show love or whatnot. But this one in particular was asking for advice. Now, I'm not gonna say his name because a lot of y'all know him, but a lot of women find him desirable physically. Got a lot of money, got a lot of clout, got a lot of drip swag, all of that shit, charming, all that kind of stuff, right? The problem is he lost his woman about 2.5 years ago. And in that time,
This
he's
was
had
made,
several
let me
women,
pause it.
dozens of.
This was made 3 years ago, by the way. So this person is sharing, this particular video was made 3 years ago. He's saying that this particular famous gentleman had contacted him 2 years ago. So essentially 5 years ago, there was somebody that's considered famous that contacted him about one that got away, even though this person is apparently all of that. Okay, according to what he's saying, this person's all of that. They fine, you know, they got groupies, you know what I'm saying? They can have anybody they want, all that good old shit. Yet he is contacting this person like about this one woman that got away. Let's listen. I'm gonna take it back so y'all can hear.
I gotta tell y'all this quick story, man. I just saw in my DM this guy, this celebrity guy, and this celebrities hit me up all the time, man, just to show love and whatnot. But this one in particular was asking for advice. Now, I'm not gonna say his name because a lot of y'all know him, but a lot of women find him desirable physically. Got a lot of money, got a lot of clout, got a lot of drip swag, all of that shit, charming, all that kind of stuff, right? The problem is he lost his woman about 2.5 years ago. And in that time, he's had several women, dozens of women. You know, great women, the ones that's for everybody and the ones that's marriage material, the whole nine, right? He's had all of these different women, and he's wondering why he can't get over that one that he lost, in which he was the cause for the breakup or whatnot. So he's asking me, like, what to do about it. And I had to keep it real with him, even though I'm usually the bearer of good news and try to have a happy ending. The truth of the matter is there's some types of women you're just not going to get a second chance with. Not physically and technically, and not figuratively in another woman. And the problem is a lot of guys, especially the ones that's lit, they have a hard time accepting that because all that being lit can kind of fool you into thinking, you know, miss one, next 15 won't come. You're just going to get another one, you know, if she ever chooses to finally stand up for herself and finally leave you after all of the bullshit that you're doing. The problem is, even though you may be able to have just about any other woman in the world, and on paper that may be better. Hair shorter or longer, whatever you figure is better, the body thicker, the skin clearer, she comes from a better school, better family, more money, all of that. On paper, she may be better in a lot of areas, and it still ain't gonna be the same vibe as the one that you let go. Still ain't gonna be the same. So, you know, and anytime I hear a story like this, I actually feel bad for the woman as well. Like, what did she go through to have to give her all and be all that she was to this guy that had to learn this lesson the hard way? And we need to talk more about this, man. There's a reason why I wrote about it in my book, Don't Forget Your Crown. And click the link in the caption if you haven't gotten it yet, because it's still 50% off. But the moral of the story is this, especially for all of my guys out there. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all, man. I know that you can get this girl or that girl or whatever. And you can have 1,000 of them. But if you ever get a real one, dog, you got to stop looking and lock that one down. Because even if you have all 1,000 at the exact same time, it still ain't going to hit the same as that real one that you let go. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, don't forget your crown is 50% off at the...
All right. He trips me out every time he's doing that. I'm like... Oh, man. Anyway, again, I'm going to add some disclaimers. Because, you know, the other day, I had somebody coming and clowning about, you know, the life of some of these people. And you know what? Truth be told, I've been screaming this kind of shit for a long time anyway. I've been telling y'all that it's a whole lot of people that a lot of us are out there following and supporting, and we don't know their private lives. We don't know the full story. A lot of people are talking about shit, be the main ones doing shit. In some cases, you know, there are people that legitimately did learn their lessons, okay? So who are we to really say? You know, I can't say if this man, you know, learned his lesson or not. I can't say, you know, I don't know him. You know, but I pull relevant information. At the end of the day, that's it. Even if the information is coming out of something corrupt, and I'm not saying he's corrupt, I'm just saying that I know how to grab the information, and those of us who are operating from a good space in our heart, right, we can apply it, and it could still serve. All right, we don't have to throw away the information because we feel like the vessel, in our own esteem, because we don't know for sure, in our own esteem, okay, is not honorable, bitch. Thank you, whoever that is. I think someone followed, and thank you for the likes. So what do you all think? Okay, it's the age-old story of all time. I think we have all heard it, and I like to share it from different perspectives, especially since I'm a woman. I do share men's information, perspective, as well as women, to try to keep it fair. You all hear my voice, but I like to bring in the men, okay, for lack of better words here, to help you all hear it coming from a man, men, okay? That's putting it down, saying, listen, basically reiterating some of the same shit that I've been saying. But oftentimes men need to hear it from a man, because then it's that, okay, yeah, shit, he a man, he a dude. His brain is biologically wired the same way ours is, okay, right? And he said this was bad news. I like how he didn't push any false, in this particular video, he didn't push false hope. I like that he highlighted that for this particular kind of man, and this is the reason why I really shared it, okay? Whether these men are famous or whether they're lit, because he said this is an issue with men that are either famous or lit. Lit meaning, they fine. You know what I'm saying? They fine. They got, money and shit like that. And so they have a tendency to think they're shitting Snickers, right? They have a tendency to feel like he said, like a bus. Buses come every 15 minutes. One leave, another one's coming in 15 minutes. But why was that same man hung up on this one woman? The man that was lit, the man that was famous, the man that had his share, a slew of women, good women, beautiful women, like he said, some of them for the streets, some of them marriage material, some of them seems better on paper, profile, but he still And the lesson for these types of men is what he's saying. He's not even trying to be mean about it. The lesson is, bruh, like, if you know you got something rare, this shit is not coming every 15 minutes, dude. Like, you need to understand, okay? Because just because you can get a bad or baddie 15 minutes, you're the one that's going to be sitting there wondering why you can't replicate this vibe that you had with this one that you let go. Because you can't shape it and condition and groom. See, that's something you can tell her to wear her hair like the one that you let go. You can tell her to, you know what I'm saying, dress like the one that you let go. You can tell her to be into the things like the one that you let go to try to replicate the vibe. To even do some of the same shit, to try to replicate the vibe, and it's still not going to happen. These type of men gotta hit it hard, and it's for this reason. Somebody says, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say it. I hope I'm not coming off a certain way. I'm not trying to be mean. It's ego. In a nutshell, it's just ego. And, when men have this, whether they're super fine or not, and whether they're famous or not. But all the more for the super fine ones and the famous one, because they got pygmy chicks you know, beating at the door, right? They have pygmy chicks beating at the door, super fine, baddies, like you said. I'm going to play this over again. So it's their lesson because they're never going to find it. It's done. That's it. That's what the title of it is. They're done. It says, bruh, you will never. They're done. It's to teach them, like, it, you know, some stuff is a once in a lifetime, or some stuff is just super rare. So it's just, you know, so you can be fine. You can drop them C notes. You can, you know, go into certain arenas where you feel like it's more likely to find a type like the one that got away. You can, you know what I'm saying, do all those things. And it's just not going to happen. Sad, huh?
Jackson, what's happening? I gotta tell y'all this quick story, man. I just saw in my DM this guy, this celebrity guy, and this celebrities hit me up all the time, man, just to show love and whatnot. But this one in particular was asking for advice. Now, I'm not gonna say his name because a lot of y'all know him, but a lot of women find him desirable physically. Got a lot of money, got a lot of clout, got a lot of drip swag, all of that shit, charming, all that kind of stuff, right? The problem is he lost his woman about 2.5 years ago. And
Right.
in that time, he's had several women, dozens of women. You know, great women,
Let me pause
the ones that's for
I see a comment. Yeah, each one is unique. But why is it that, at least in an example in which this man is talking about, maybe they didn't compare, but they were trying to, they discovered that they were trying to find a vibe. Maybe they were not comparing. But over time, they could have kept thinking about this one person, and they could have came to some revelation that they realized that they were looking for a vibe. Maybe it's not about the comparison. Maybe it's a vibe of this, whatever this was they felt or sensed or experienced when they were with this one person. They realized that they've been trying to get that and wondering why they haven't been able to. And like he said, I'm gonna let the video play again. It wasn't that these other women were bad. See, I don't think he's necessarily going there. He said that some of these women were good, like good. They were better. They were better on paper. They looked better. They had this. They had that. They were, you know, marriage material. And then, like he said, some of them were for the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't a matter of was something or someone better. It's something deeper. And though we're not to compare in that negative sense, sometimes we're looking for, when you find something good, you're just not going to always easily replicate it. Or like, I want to feel, let me give some examples because I'm trying to make it practically make sense. Because obviously something drove this man, this famous man with money, that's fine, that can have anybody he wants, that have had anybody he wanted. Obviously, it's something driving him. Some things are rare. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not even meant to be a slight against all these other slew of folks. But some things are just rare. If you're lucky enough, blessed enough, privileged enough to have manifested something precious, we shouldn't have a lackadaisical attitude about it. That's the whole point. The attitude that, like a bus, if one leaves, another one will be here in 15 minutes. The tendency to have that attitude causes us to be indifferent and careless. And this is what happened to a lot of fine people that haven't really developed and matured or not really grounded. Because the fineness and the money and the fame don't necessarily mean you're developed and mature and grounded. In fact, sometimes when you get all of that, and if you got it at a young age, you're ungrounded. Because you already got this conditioning that I'm fine, I'm famous, I have money, everybody's kissing your ass. So, you know, a lot of people end up not developing.
Body and the ones that's marriage material, the whole nine, right? He's had all of these different women, and he's wondering why he can't get over that one that he lost, in which he was the one, he was the cause for the breakup or whatnot. So he's asking me like what to do about it. And I had to keep it real with him, even though I'm usually the bearer of good news and try to have a happy ending. The truth of the matter is there are some types of women you're just not going to get a second chance with. Not physically and technically, and not figuratively in another woman. And the problem is a lot of guys, especially the ones that's lit, they have a hard time accepting that because all that being lit can kind of fool you into thinking, you know, miss one, next 15 one comes. You're just going to get another one, you know, if she ever chooses to finally stand up for herself and finally leave you after all of the bullshit that you're doing. The problem is, even though you may be able to have just about any other woman in the world, and on paper that may be better. Hair, shorter or longer, whatever you figure is better. The body thicker, skin clearer. She come from a better school, better family, more money. All of that. On paper, she may be better in a lot of areas. And it still ain't going to be the same vibe as the one that you let go. Still ain't going to be the same. So, you know, and anytime I hear a story like this, I actually feel bad for the woman as well. Like, what did she go through to have to give her all and be all that she was to this guy that had to learn this lesson the hard way? And we need to talk more about this, man. There's a reason why I wrote about it in my book, Don't Forget Your Crown. And click the link in the caption if you haven't gotten it yet, because it's still 50% off. But the moral of the story is this, especially for all of my guys out there. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all, man. I know that you can get this girl or that girl or whatever, and you can have 1,000 of them. But if you ever get a real one, dog, you got to stop looking and lock that one down. Because even if you have all 1,000 at the exact same time, it still ain't going to hit the same as that real one that you let go. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comment.
All right, so I'm not going to share that no more. This can go both ways, all right? So I do like to play, you know, devil's advocate and being neutral. This certainly applies to both genders, okay? It's the lesson of if you stumble across something rare in a connection with somebody, okay? It's not about how groovy. I know we kind of get stuck there. Oh, well, I got this comparison game. I got more, and they got more, and this, you know, boom. And now I look this way, and I got this, and boom, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I got this bad house, and my ass purchased my ass from the top surgeons on, you know, in the United States. You know what I'm saying? My hair is lit. My hair is whoopty woo. My da. And yeah, none of that matters. I come from this stock. I come from that stock. You know what I'm saying? I come from the royal, you know, we're the kings and queens of Hollywood. We, you know. So, somebody says a real man knows what he wants, and realize you won't find that in just any women. Well, see, absolutely. And that's kind of what I said a little minute ago too. It's like sometimes people aren't developed. And, you know, we think because someone's got money or they're fine or they have fame, we have a tendency to automatically equate that to what I call maturation. And it's just not the case. Most times what ends up happening, depending on when this person became that way, no, it's okay. Depending on when that person became that way, they may not have developed, okay? Because they had too many, you know what I'm saying? They could have had a whole lot of yes people surrounding them. They could have had a whole lot of ass kissers. They could have, you know, and because of that, they never actually developed. They never had to because they had people bowing down. You see what I'm saying? At an early age, as they were going into fame or whatever it is, or if it was because of their looks, they never had to. And I do want to say that even if it's not necessarily fame, and in certain cultures and certain environments, this is something I learned over time. In certain cultures and certain environments, if somebody fine, this is why you got a lot of shallow men and women in certain locations. Because the culture is, when you fine, or if you got a lot of, money or whatever it is, you got a lot of pick-me motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, worshiping you, and you don't even have to be a decent motherfucker. Okay? You have a whole lot of pick-me chicks, because in certain locations, in certain environments, where that kind of stuff is put on a pedestal, so the person don't have to develop. They end up losing the rare one, because the rare one is going to be a woman that's not going to put up, or a man that's not going to put up with bullshit, no matter how fine a motherfucker is. No matter how much money they got, no matter, what their fame and socioeconomic status is. They'll get strong enough to a point where they go, bye, bye, baby, bye, bye, because I know I am a valuable person. And apparently you think you're shitting Snickers. So go back over there with the pick-me chicks, right? And the pick-me dudes. These people get stunted. These people get arrested development. It's common. It's more common than we think. They didn't have to develop. You see where I'm going? They didn't have to. So let me give an example. Let's say if it's from the age of like 18, 19 years old. Let's say they came into their own. They were super fine, you know what I'm saying? And they just had people just flaunting, throwing themselves at them. And they were just being assholes and jerks. Guess what? They've been shaped to believe that they can be asshole and jerks. And they can have the top of the top. They can have a slew of people wanting to be with them. Somebody says, was married 16 years. I felt everything I needed or wanted, I found in her. But respect in the lack that was, what ended it. Got it. Okay, the lack. Got it. Sorry. Yeah. That's the story of all time. We've all been there on some level. Okay, trust and believe. We thought we found the dream, and yeah, it was a nightmare. I'm just kind of sharing why we have people in these conditions. They never had to develop. They were surrounded by a society, a culture, and an environment that further shaped their fucked upness. In fact, could have even praised it. Okay? For an example, I'm sure Hollyweird is like that. Hollyweird, Beverly Hills, and LOST Vegas. Meccas of praising and worshiping shallow, surface, superficial bullshit. That's the Meccas of if you find and you got money. It says, why is the outer beauty more important than the inner beauty? You know what? That's the question of the ages. It's the culture. It's our conditioning. It's our environment. Right? It's the question of the ages. Why do people do that? It's people not dealing with their own shit. People still trying to, get something met, and they're thinking that if you got the baddest motherfucker, that's supposed to, fix it, only to discover over time it didn't. We all have preferences. We all have what we're attracted to. But as I've said over and over again to the collective, until we grow up and get the foundation and priorities correct, there's nothing wrong with external beauty or external handsomeness. It's the overfocus on that causes us to bypass the meatier matters, the more important issues. I say it all the time. And when people, how do I say this? Another epidemic that I feel like has happened is the video that I shared the other day with a woman that was speaking, where she said that women go get all of these surgeries, and no, nothing wrong with that. They go get all of these surgeries or gastric bypass, liposuction, put the fat in the ass, boob jobs, Botox, whatever, lip fillers. Okay. They go get all this stuff done to finally get a lot of attention that maybe they never got. Somebody says, I love a good heart. That's good. I mean, we need more folks like that. They start getting attention that they never got. Right? And they go buck wild. That's what happens. They go buck wild. Whatever issues were lurking there, whatever self-esteem issues were actually still in there, whatever hurts, traumas, unhealed things was still in these people. And now, them having the access to go and do all these things just only gave way for them to now be fucked up. So I feel like the epidemic this is why a lot of men are finding themselves in these situations that they're pissed about today. Because the epidemic of that kicked in when the pandemic came through. It had already started happening prior to the pandemic, but it became global, and I saw 11/11. It became global and massive when the pandemic came, because that's when all of these stimulus packages start flying all over the place. And so because of all these economic stimulus, different packages came, this created for any Joe Schmo and Josephine Schmo to be able to go, especially if they were in LOST Vegas, Hollywood, or Beverly Hills. In these locations, it made it more easy for them to be able to go, now I can finally get liposuction. Hooking up with the brothers, the men, and everybody, So essentially using everybody's economic stimulus packages, unemployment, back pay, and one thing and another. Now I can get lip fillers. Now I can get Botox. Now I can get Kim Kardashian's ass. Now I can get, boob, lips, nip tuck. Now I can take the fat out the middle and put it in the butt. Now I can, it became something that almost anybody can do. Oh, okay. Somebody says this is amazing. My girlfriend just texted me. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. All right. So, man, like I was saying, So this is why I'm telling you, I'm smiling, because this is why, unfortunately, I get, a lot of information and hear a lot of men complaining. But they chased these scenarios because these situations presented. So now they had the chick with the low self-esteem that had access to surgery. So they get into it thinking that this is going to be a win. But see, then the issues of the soul of these women will come up, and these men. Yeah. I hear this more common than people think that I may hear about this kind of stuff. They go into it. They're like, yeah. And it's like, this shit was crazy. She crazy. He crazy. Yeah. Absolutely. We must develop. But when people find, and in cultures that glorify all of that, and you got a whole lot of pick-me karmicies all over the place that's willing to lick bootstraps, and you know what I'm saying? Cloud chasers, because basically what it is cloud chasers. What these famous men do not understand, because their ego be too on swole. What they don't understand is that it's more about cloud chasing than anything else in their case. So these women, basically attempt to transform themselves into these fantasies because they're cloud chasing. And then these men are mad when, just kind of, it goes very sour. And they just go look for another boob job, ass job chick. Or even if they don't have the jobs, you know what I'm saying? Just go look for, tenderonis, fresh meat, for lack of better words. Not understanding that these people probably aren't developed. Just as shallow as their being is as shallow as these women are. Honey child, let me tell you something. Hold the telephone. Let's see what we got here. Hold on, y'all. It says, so she's not going to...
Bro, she never stopped loving you. She just stopped feeling safe enough to show you that love that she had for you. Like, you thought because she loved you, it was about you specifically, and it wasn't. That woman loved like that before she ever met you, and would still love like that if you were never born. But because she felt safe with you, you got to experience it. But you thought because you were the same person and it was about you, that you could make any decision that you wanted to make and her love wouldn't change. But once your decisions took away her peace of mind in the relationship, and her confidence that she was protected when she wasn't around, and her respect for you as a man, that's what took away the love that you were receiving from her. So your decisions is what you should be blaming for her now treating you like a complete stranger, not the sincerity of her heart. That was always real. It just doesn't belong to you anymore.
That's another big lesson. Because people have to realize that their conduct folks will withdraw. At some point, they're going to withdraw that beautiful energy the moment people continue to display disrespect and disregard for that beautiful energy. The title of that says, Why She Changed. Because people be talking about, they changed. They changed. Okay. Ooh, child. Let me see. Do I want to share that one? It says, woman says she has nothing to offer. Ooh, honey, child. Somebody says, true facts. I'm like, I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm like, ooh, honey. Men say he did too much for this girl. Okay, are women to, the real key isn't communication. I already shared that one. Ooh, this is a good one. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, okay.
Team Jackson, what's happening? So I just did a live stream and I saw this comment and I want to answer before I head out real quick. But a woman asked me, D, why is it that a guy will instantly go cold without warning, without anything even really going wrong? Why is it that a guy will instantly go cold on you?
Then let me pause that because I'm like putting this in the microwave, bitch. My coffee then went cold. Just like the title, it says, for a reason, he suddenly went cold on you. Hold on. I don't know why this coffee don't stay hot long enough, or maybe I'm not drinking it fast enough. Because I'm like, damn, bitch. I'm probably taking too long to sip on it forever or whatever. Okay.
Now, I'm just going to assume she's basically talking about in a dating situation when you and the guy seemingly are getting close, things are seemingly progressing, and then boom, he just falls off. Not physically, but the conversation stops. The text message replies start to, get longer and longer. Maybe he don't even want to link up for something sexual. Like he really just kind of falls back and his interest kind of falls back and there's really no explanation. There's a few reasons, right? Really 4 reasons why a guy would typically do that. And they're not all super malicious. Like the first one is a guy may really be going through a difficult season in his life and it's taking a toll on his mental health. I know every time, we hear mental health, we think it's a cop-out, but let's not invalidate the mental health of men because a lot of guys do struggle with anxiety, do struggle with depression and all other types of mental health battles. And sometimes the way a guy would try to handle it is by withdrawing, by focusing all his energy on just getting up every day, making it through the day. And that means no text messages, no linking up. Maybe he's not as engaging whenever you guys do talk. That does not justify how he handles it. It's not to say that you should tolerate it because we mentioned mental health. I've said before that even if you're a victim of trauma, that doesn't give you the right to go and create more victims of trauma. Exactly. The same thing goes for when it comes to mental health battles, but so you don't personalize it. All right. So the second reason why a guy may go instantly cold on you out of nowhere without warning is because something you did or something you said has hurt him, but he's too embarrassed to admit it. Maybe he feels like that'll make him look soft. Or maybe you guys had an agreement that, you're just talking, you're just dating, so he can do him, you can do you. But whenever you actually go out and start doing you, when you actually on them Instagram stories getting turned up, or you actually on the date with somebody, and then you see that Rolex watch across from you with the $200 dinner or something like that, it really touches a nerve. Like it hurts. It hurts deep down in the stomach. But instead of saying that, again, because he's probably too embarrassed, he just goes cold and he tries to match your perceived level of detachment, or tries to force himself to be detached so he don't feel it as much, so he can stop those feelings and stop himself from falling in love, or stop himself from feeling jealous, or maybe because he wants to get your attention. And that should bring you in to have the conversation about why he's withdrawing. And therefore, now you guys can both kind of take that step forward, which again is a very childish, immature way of handling things. But it is what it is. Now, the third reason why a guy may go instantly cold on you, and this is kind of trifling on this one, is because that whole going cold thing is the new ghost. Instead of physically disappearing off the radar, never hearing from a person again, the new way of going ghost is to mentally and emotionally shut down. And what that does for a dude, and I think women do this as well, by the way, but what that does for a person is it allows them to not look like the bad guy. Yep. And by not looking like the bad guy, you don't have to worry about retaliation. You don't even have...
pause, freeze, frame. Okay, check. I knew this. I've been saying this for some time now, probably a couple of years. And maybe it takes to be hearing it from men. You know, I don't know, for men to get a clue. But see, it's a little narcissistic. Because one of the strategies, so that they don't look like a jerk, even if that they were up to shenanigans the entire time anyway, even if they were, you know, sneaking around, entertaining other things, other people, and that could be very well the truth of why, okay? But instead of just altogether physically ghosting, they start creating the conditions in which is going to force any woman or man with any lick of esteem to decide to walk away. So that, you know, it'll be like, well, they just seem to pull back. They just seem not interested. They just seem to be, you know, not into it or not available. So I have some esteem, so I ain't gonna stay around for no half-assed, you know, situation. So they get to go around to all they new people or whatever the situation is and not look like the bad guy. They get to go around saying, well, you know, they broke up with me. You know what I'm saying? They get to ghost without ghosting. They set up the conditions. I'm going to be cold. I'm going to be detached. I'm going to become cold. I'm going to become detached. I'm going to become unavailable. I'm going to become these things. So this person will be forced. I'm going to force their hand, if they got any backbone and spine in them. Anybody with just 5% of self-esteem is going to say, nigga, bye. And then they're going to go to their new supply and to their friends and family and whoever else say, you know, I don't know, they broke up with me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing. I don't know what they're talking about. They was hoeing, you know, the whole time. They were entertaining, outsourcing other supply the entire time. But, you know, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what they're talking about. They crazy. Right? Yeah. So we need to get hip to that, yo. Okay, collective? See, I'm recollecting old school back in the day because for y'all information, this is not something that Bloomy is going through. It's something I've gone through in the past. Okay, but this is certainly not something that I'm experiencing at this time. I'm in a good place. It says here, my ex did that to me. Yeah, this is common. This is the new ghosting. The new ghosting is you just start being aloof. You just start becoming super busy. You just start acting disinterested. You just start, you know, to where it's going to push the conditions to where the person going to be like, we need to break up. And then the person can feel like not a jerk, which I don't see how they're managing to do that. It's like, if you're strategizing, you're still the jerk because you don't have balls. Okay? You don't have balls. You're still the jerk because misleading that person and making them feel some kind of way rather than manning up or womaning up and, you know what I'm saying, and giving that person the full disclosure of the situation. I'm interested in someone else. Or, you know, I'm a hoe. Shit. To me, people need to own they hold them, yo. Ain't no future in your fronting. People need to own they hold them. Use a hoe. And wear your badge, okay? Because it's your life. Nobody has the right to tell you. But, you know what I'm saying? Let people know, I put your whole badge on. I'm a hoe. I likes, you know what I'm saying? Look, I likes multiple motherfuckers. So do you still, you know what I'm saying? So do you still want to hang out with a nigga? You know, because shit, You know what I'm saying? At least that's decent. At least that's some fucking decent behavior.